Hi, everyone. I recently shared with you a story about a farmer who lost his watch in his hay shed. And he had the local kids trying to find this watch, and they were searching and searching and searching, and they couldn't find it. And then, after all the kids left, there's this one little boy who stayed behind and said, can I have another look? Can I please have another look for this watch? And he's like, farmer looked at him and went, well, if you want to, you can, but what makes you think that you'll be able to find it by yourself when a group of you couldn't find it together? And the little boy turned and said, well, when I'm by myself, I can sit and I can listen for it. When it's quiet and when there's no noise being made around us, we have that extraordinary ability to sit and listen and to reflect. And yet it is something that we rarely do because the day-to-day lives, our day-to-day lives, the hustle and bustle of, dropping kids off, of picking them up, of doing housework, of getting to work, of doing all those other things that we just have to somehow fit into our day tends to take over. And when we do have a couple of minutes to sit down, we can always find something to fill that time instead. There could be a lot of washing we could put on, or there's always something. There's always something around us that can fill that time if we really want it to. And so I think our own instincts, in a way, kind of just take over and go, well, sitting down and just being still for a while can seem a little bit selfish sometimes. But it's also the one thing that can help us. Because that quiet time, that time when we just get to sit and be and let our minds settle and just take in what's around us, has so much richness and so much opportunity to it that we need to do it more often, because it's time when we can let our minds settle and we can start to consider what it is that's been going on inside of our heads and actually respond and not react. It's time where we can reflect on, did we have an argument that day? Did something not go right, in the few days beforehand? Could we have dealt with that better? We're always really quick to point out where other people have gone wrong. And if they had done things better, then, we wouldn't be in this position. But rarely do we do that for ourselves. And that takes time to reflect, because we can always be that instant critic. But to actually make change, we have to understand what prompted us to act that way in the first place. And saying it was the other person doesn't help, because that means that you will never be able to change that behavior. And we are all responsible for the way that we act. It doesn't matter how that other person has, triggered us, has activated something inside of us to go, ugh. We are responsible for those reactions. So we need to take responsibility and we need to learn why we acted that way. And that's what that reflection time gives us. It gives us that ability to actually think about what happened and what was going on both up here and in here for us to actually behave that way.